Hi everyone, welcome to episode 8 of the Bargain Bandit. Today's date is August 13th, 2012. And August 13th is a really special day because it's my birthday. Yay. My birthday is usually not something I like to acknowledge the passing of, and this year's really no exception, but what the hey. Let's pretend like I have good birthdays. Little known fact about me, my birthday is cursed. It seems like every year something happens on or around my birthday that is just tragic, either for the world or for me personally. I've had some pretty tragic birthdays, let me tell you. But I'm hoping that this year will be one of the rare good birthdays. I have had a couple, maybe 3 out of however many years I've been alive, have been good. For the most part, they've been pretty awful birthdays. But I'm hopeful that this year is going to be a good one. I had a pretty good week in the eBay sale, so I'm hopeful that August, September, and so on are going to be a wonderful time for me and my family. So enjoy watching the birthday edition of the Bargain Bandit. Last episode, I mentioned that we were selling some old cassette tapes that we had, and we sold them. We didn't get a lot. We got $26 and some change for them. But considering it cost like $40 to ship, because it was 36 pounds in the end, we actually ended up underestimating our shipping costs. So the buyer actually got a little bit of a bargain on the shipping cost, and it had to come out of our profit. But yeah, so we sold the tapes. So the rest of the items that I'm going to talk about this week that I've sold are all games. Yay! Because, you know, I have a lot of games. Games is my kind of niche specialty, so I'm always excited when I sell some, and I actually have sold quite a few lately, so that makes me very happy. The first one that I'll talk about is Clue Harry Potter, and this one went like that. Like, I literally put it up, and like within hours it was gone. Somebody wanted it at my buy it now price, not even trying to negotiate or haggle the price of anything. I usually put everything up as a buy it now or best offer, unless the item I'm trying to sell I really want to get a specific price for, then I'm not going to try and haggle. But the Clue Harry Potter, I put it up for $19.99, and that's what I got. They didn't try and haggle. I would have come down, but they didn't try. The game was in great condition. It was missing one 20-point piece, and it had like a little crease in the top of the board, but otherwise it was in great condition. And the board was kind of cool. It was like movable. I had these little movable wheels underneath to change, I guess, movement throughout the game. So it was interesting, and it went quick. So I'm always happy to put something up and have it sell quick. So, yay. The next item I sold was a board game from 1994, and it was a re-release of a game from 1980 that was supposedly banned in the United States. It was called Public Assistance and Capital Punishment. It was 2 games in one, and it was a pretty offensive game. You had some of the pieces were things like children out of wedlock, and the goals were like to on the public assistance one. You wanted to stay on welfare as long as you could, and there was a manifesto included with the box about the welfare system and capital punishment, and all the things that the person who designed the game hate about the system. So that was an offensive yet interesting game that I knew would sell. I ended up haggling a bit with the guy on the price, and I sold it for a very nice profit. It's one I picked up at a thrift store, so I did well on this one. The next item I'm going to talk about was a pair of vintage card games. I had a vintage Uno game from 1979 and a vintage Rage game, which was from the makers of Uno and was dated 1983. And they were both, the boxes were a little rough condition, but they're still held the cards well, and the cards were in pretty good condition all around for both games. I decided to put them up together as a lot. Individually, you can get about $6 to $7, maybe $8 a piece for the games. I put them together at a buy it now of $14.99. I would have accepted less, but I thought $14.99 was a reasonable price considering the person would only have to pay one shipping cost if they wanted both games. And it was also better for me because I'd only have to pay fees on one auction as opposed to, if I sold them separately, I'd have to pay fees on 2 auctions, and it would be, and I probably wouldn't have gotten as much as I got for the pair of them together. So I was pretty happy that my little plan worked out in in bundling them together, and I'm trying to figure out what else I can bundle together to maximize my profits. So this was a good example of bundling working. Just this morning, I sold another board game called Careers, and I actually have another copy of it right here that I had picked up because, it's an old board game. I've had this one since that estate sale, that one estate sale that I'd talked about where I picked up 18 games. I've talked about it so many times. So that one also came from there. I sold it this morning at my buy it now price of $12.99. And, it's in good condition. The game is interesting. I think that it must be a lot of fun because in both cases, I had almost none of the little pads that came with it left in the game. So, people played the heck out of this game to the point they wasted all the pads. So, it must be a fun game. That's all I can figure. And so I'm pretty happy that sold this morning. And now I just have one more copy to sell. Yay. So I've saved my best sale for last, and then this is my best sale, not necessarily because of the dollar amount, although it was a pretty good profit, but more because I had no idea the level of interest this item would garner. It was a old RPG system called Gamma World, and it was from 1979, and it was a standalone, science fiction based RPG system. It could be played with Dungeons and Dragons. That was one of the features of it. The box, was in good condition. It came with the booklet, which was in great condition. The map, which had some yellowing on it, but was in pretty good condition. And the 5 original dice that came with it that were not in good condition at all, but they were cheap plastic dice that, the back in the day, the dice weren't exactly made of the highest quality. So that's all it came with, okay? And so I had it on my shelf for a while, and I've just been going through adding the games, and this was in the stack of games I grabbed to add, and I put it up, and 5 minutes after I put it up, I had 9 views on the item already and a watcher, and I'm like, what the heck? None of my other items have gotten that kind of interest unless it was something like the Google Chrome laptop, which is, ridiculous, going to get ridiculous interest. But I'm like, it's just an old RPG system, And then 40 minutes later, I had 30 views, 3 watchers, and 2 offers on the item. Now, both of the offers were for the same price, $18, and I talked to my husband about it. And we decided to hold out a while because that was within 40 minutes of me putting the item up. So, we sat on it. I actually offered to come down on the price with both those people to $26, and neither of them wanted to budge on their price. So I'm like, okay, then I'm not gonna, I'm not selling it for 18. So I waited and waited, and then the next day, near the end of the day, we got a person who paid the buy now price of $29.99 on it. So we actually got the price that I thought that we should get for it, considering the condition and the completeness of the item. And somebody else agrees with me and bought it for that price. So that was we were patient on that item. We weren't just taking the first offer, even though $18 would have still netted us a nice profit. We didn't just take the first offer we got, and I'm really glad we didn't because we truly maximized our profit. And who knows, maybe we undervalued it at $29.99. Maybe it was worth more than that. I just can't believe that item. I had no concept that item would be that popular. So it just goes to show that I'm always learning new things, and even when I think I know something, I knew that the item was worth $30, but I didn't think it would be an easy sell, and it was probably the easiest sell I've had so far. So, there's a lesson. Gamma World, pick it up because there's a lot of people who want it. I'm actually going to end this week's video here and not show you some of the auctions I have up, although please do go check out my auctions, Cross House of Cards and Games. You can check out our website, Cross House of Cards and Games.com or crosshouseofcards.com. We have all kinds of websites. Leave me some comments, like me, subscribe. I like hearing from people, so please ask anything or say anything. I love comments. But I'm not going to show auctions that I have up on eBay. I don't really have any. Well, I have one auction right now. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. But everything else is buy it nows. But more or less, this is video number 8. So the next video, video number 9, will show some of my recent pickups, and I can, talk about some of the items I have up on eBay. In the next video, so I figured cut this one here. Done. We're done. So, done. Okay, bye everyone.